visualization on different sheets to build a dashboard. Today we'll be talking about aggregation time series data. It's from an unemployment data set from America, I think between 1965 to 2015. So this is like a time series data, like over the time of the year with different groups, different male, female, different age groups, while unemployment has affected, or what is the best way when we get an aggregate data, what are the best visualization to use. We will try a lot, and at the end of the day, we will go with what best or what I think I've used as a time series data visualization to build a visualize to explain the time series, because when we mean about time series, it's quite a lot of data over a long period of time and with different type of categories. So you want to be able to picturize this data as much as possible, and by that it can mean congestion when there's a lot of things you put there. So what is the best visualization to use? So I think I've sent the data. I hope everyone has gotten it, the data set that we're going to use today. I sent it this evening. And so just like the last time, we go to our data source and it's an Excel file. It was saved in Excel, which is good for both Mac and Windows users. So if we can click on wherever we have downloaded it or saved it, and then we just open. Since this is just a simple one sheet, so we have only one tab here. It's from next week that we are going to be joining of data together. That means we have a workbook with different tabs that we're going to join together. So we're going to be looking at that, but this is just a single tab, and we can see we have age groups. You have, this is what I mean by like a large amount of data, just only with 16 to 19, for example. We have
sorry, Mr. Tai,
yes.
Sorry to cut you, but I don't think we have the what's it called, this data set that you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I can send it. I actually don't know what channel to send it. Maybe after today you can let me know the best. I sent it to the mentor bodies. Maybe that was the wrong one, but I
Okay.
will.
Also, I have one more question.
Yes, please go ahead.
The question I have is, before you start creating these sheets and this dashboard, I mean,
yes,
how do you determine? Do you like sit down and determine, oh, this is what I'm gunning for, this is what I want to do? Because I try working with some data that I have, and I don't know exactly what I want to point out of it. Okay, I can get the sum, I can get this, I can get that, but how do you, before you actually start playing around with Tableau, do you set out knowing exactly what you want to do, or you just experiment until you get what you want to do?
I'm now a professional. Like I use it, so I can tell you that okay, I know what visualization I want. But in the beginning, that's why I said you play around with it. You throw a lot of visualization, and then you will see what best, even from yourself. Like I will create one for you, and then the final one we will do, and then you can decide that even from your knowledge, you can say that this is more presentable than this. This is more data oriented. You can see, you can visualize the year, the group age, the male and female, and how it has gone over the years. So that is why so today I'm going, that's why I said I will build a lot of visualization, which are okay, but they are bringing too much information, like, and it feels congested, and it's not because if I have to present that, it will be hard for me to start looking at the XX or plus plus. So you will see at the end of the day what we chose. So you will get there. And when a business requirement comes, like maybe you get a ticket or something to build a visualization, they will actually tell you what you want to see, what you want to, what they want to see, sorry. And for you to be an expert as well, you have to come up with your own form of visualization as well. So this calls for a lot of practice, because then when you practice a lot, you know that, okay, I should not use bar chart for this. I should not use maybe a Instagram or Bean, or even if you want to use Instagram, how do you want to create your beans? Like, is it fives? Is it in tens? Depending on the data. This course, we are going to go through that. That's why I'm starting from the smallest and the simplest, and then the complex. And when you get next data next week, we comprise of I think cities and countries. So you will automatically you have to use a map for that. So you have to use like a map to visualize that, so that um, when you get like England, Wales, or something like that, you can see. Or when we do a Europe, for example, a store in Europe, how is Spain? Um, how do I want to say? I think we've done that. Then we use map for that as well. So you will see that at the end of the day, you just have to make a good judgment that is this presentable for what I want to do? Because with data, you can choose any visualization, but the truth is, which one is best suited for it? Have I answered your question a bit?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So do you have the data now or not yet?
No, we don't, but I can see it online. Maybe I'll just share the one I have. This I can see like someone has a public. If I know the same data of the
Yes, they're
same.
the same, yeah. But
Uh, uh,
I can send it. Just 1 second. Yeah, I've sent the data set.
yes, we see it.
All right. So I will pause now. I'll wait. I want us to follow along. But in the meantime, we can say that we have like age, and under the age, we have categories of age 16 to 19, 20 to 24. And you can even see that for male. And then we have the period, then we have the total. And then this is for January. So it shows that even by just looking at this, just looking at the gender, just for men alone, you can see that we've got a lot of categories for age, age wise. We're talking about every month. That's for every month now on this category for like 50 years or something. So you can see that it's a very, very large. The volume of the data set is large. Please let me know when we are all here.
Please, I
In this
can't
place.
seem to save the file. I don't know what the problem is. I can't even view it.
It's in Excel. Let me go back. So you have to choose Excel. So you have to choose Microsoft Excel, and then you have to choose this. Is that what you did?
No, let me try that.
So because that's why I said the first time I saved it as an Excel file. That's why it's very important. It's not a CSV file or a text file. It's an, because if you use this, you are not going to even see. You see that even I'm not going to see the file that I saved. You can see. So you have to choose Microsoft, and then you can choose this, and then you will be. It will give you. It will get you here. But now we don't need to do anything because we only have one tab from the. Um, and what I mean by one tab is, let me show. Forget about this. This is what I mean by one tab. We will just have age, gender, period, unemployment. From next week, we'll be working with 2, 3 tabs. And how do we connect these tabs in Tableau? We'll be talking about that for next week. So that's for next week topic. So is it all good now?
Yes, thank you.
All right, so let's move on. So once you finish, then we can go to our sheet. So this is where we build the visualization stuff. So let's start building now. So we want to look at the unemployed first over the years. And so if we double click on this, automatically it will give you the unemployed. I mean, this is Tableau being intelligent. You can do your own way, how you want to do it, but just double click on your unemployed, sorry. And after you've done that, then you can double click on period. So what this has done now, it has given us the period in years and sorry, has given us the years in the column and the unemployed in the rows. And we can see it all over the year. But if you want to go a little bit more granular, like this is the year from 2005 to 15, then we can just go to month, and I will tell us the difference between this year, you can see year, quarter, month, day, and what is the difference between this year's, quarter, and month. Well, that's actually the main thing I wanted us to get here, because what we're going to do here is, I mean, what we're going to take out from today is what we're going to be using throughout this course. What is the difference? When do we use this and when do we use that? And I will explain by taking the month. So let me take month here. And what we can see here, for example, is, please stop me if you have any question, because I can see you if you raise up your hand. So as you can see that we have data from 2005 to 2015. And what we have here is January, February, March. So it's giving us all the data from 2005, every January of 2005, 2006, 20 to 2015, and it's summing it up here with
Excuse me,
A.
sir.
Yes, please.
How did you import the data? I don't know how to go about it. So I want to follow you as you are doing
Okay.
it.
Have you been able to connect the data from your?
I've opened the data from
No,
Telegram.
you've
Downloaded.
passed there. Yeah, and where did you? Anywhere you've downloaded it, then you will come to this place and click Microsoft Excel.
Okay.
And since you have downloaded it, it will probably be in your downloads. And then you just click this and open.
Okay.
Let me know if you can do that.
It's done. Thank you.
All right. So this, and you can see that this is blue. It's taking the month as a dimension, sorry, as a measure rather than a dimension. What do we mean by that? These are dimension. You should use this rather than measure. And it's giving us everything together. And we can use this because it's not really painting any picture for us. All it's putting together is 2005 Januaries to 2015 Januaries. Those were the total unemployed together in every age category and every sex. So that is what this is showing. And we can't use this data. So that is one of the things that I want to point to us today, that when we are using this first part, which we don't normally use, or I don't use it, we don't use it, it's because it's going to put the whole aggregate of every month or every year together rather than giving you separate months and year. And what will happen if I choose this month now? And even if you can say it, it just says month, but here it says month, and then it will give you that month of each of the years that you have in your data. This is different. So when I choose this, as you can see now you have a timeline series. So this is what we call timeline series data, like a line chart. So you can see in 2005 now, you can see we have January. As you can see now we now have for the all employed for just that month, for that year, January. For 2016, you can see, so this is the difference between using that first one and the second one. And we will be using throughout the whole course. This is one we'll be using because we are looking at the granularity of that data. That is what we want. This is what tells you the whole story you want to see, the whole big picture. I mean, to the smallest part. I mean, we can use quarter now, but we, like now you have this compared to if you have used this quarter year, it will just give you quarter for every month. So quarter one of 2020, 2005, 2006, and like that. So it won't be good. So if you're going to use either that year, I mean, only year will be good, will be okay. But if you're going to use anything like quarter, month, weeks of the month, or days, please use this one, the lower part. That's the one we'll be using throughout the whole course. That is what, even if Tableau has chosen this, make sure that we go deeper and we choose this. Now we have a time series data, but this is just showing me the whole unemployment for January 2005. So I don't know so much about it. I really don't know which one, how is the male or the female, or what age groups, what is the breakdown. For example, this 1,762,000. Just like last week, this is when we start to put our data into like color, size, label, and also last week I did not mention this because I was waiting for this week, because there is other things that we can use. This automatic, you always going to get a line chart because Tableau has programmed it automatic. You can choose so many things here. We will touch on everything. And that was what leads to the first question, like what type of visualization are we going to use? How do we know? do we just play around with it? So yes, we play around with it till we get the perfect one. So out of all this, we're going to choose a very perfect one that personally I think, and I hope you will agree with me, is going to be the best. Also, we have, as I said last week, we have like this show me that you can quickly do. But since we're having time series, you can see, obviously, we can't use this because a lot of data to be doing that or this. So automatically you will know that when you play, of course, bar chart, we cannot. So, or bubble, it's too much bubbles. I mean, this is not good for visualization. So we can go back to our line chart.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry to say this.
No problem.
I'm lost, seriously.
Okay, yes, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
So
After
where are you lost?
it's after uploading the data. I
Yes.
don't know how you got to where you are now.
All right. No problem. No problem. No problem. So I said we want to look at the unemployment over the years.
How you got to this page?
Yes, that's why I want to start now. I want to start it over again. So we're trying to get unemployment over the years. We want to look at the trend. This is what we call a time series. Like you are looking at trends to see. And if you double click on this, unemployed, we get it. Tableau will automatically give you this as a rule because it knows that automatically you are going to be plotting it against.
No, I'm sorry. It's not that. I'm not still following. Can you start from the beginning?
I just started from the beginning. So this is the beginning. I've not done anything now.
Sorry,
So
I think she's on the data source and she needs
data
to click
source.
on the
Okay.
sheet.
Oh, I thought she said, oh, are you here?
Okay, yes. Yes.
Okay. So when you are here, you have this, you've connected your data.
Yes.
So just go to sheet 1. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you there now? Anyway, we have enough time for this. So if you are here, so you double click on unemployed, you will get this. And please double click on period. Although this has given us a very nice time series chart over the years, and I said that there are two types of, Tableau has gotten two types of year filters that we have. Because here is just going to give us the aggregate of each month of every year. So the total of January from 2005 to 2015. Then it's going to give you the total for, like, if you choose month, this is what I mean. So you can see that even from this, you know, there's something wrong that I have a very big data, but you are giving me over the month, only this. And we can see that it's just saying January, 38,888,000. It's not even giving me the year. So I don't know which of the year. So that is even a red flag at the moment, because then your stakeholders doesn't know, okay, which January of which year. For example, that would be the first question if you give them this, that, so which year is this unemployment very high? I mean, if a country have 38 million unemployment in January, then they have a very big problem. So that's when I said that we should choose always a more granular form of data. This means we have for each month of each year in our data set. So this is the meaning of this May 2015. Because it gets 2015 because 2015 is the maximum year we have in our data. But if you look at here, it just says May. That's
Sorry, please.
yes.
Yeah. Just thinking, since we are playing around with this data,
Yes.
the particular month you click there that is sounding like the data is not meaningful. I think it's still a kind of data is generating for us, like it's an aggregation of all level of unemployment in the month of January. So one can still derive insights from this, like which month has a peak unemployment instance.
You may say so, but that's also a very dangerous way you want to look at it, because now I cannot compare January 2014 to January 2015. I don't know if unemployment has gone down.
I understand that. I'm just saying question, like instances might just might arise around that. Like, we have this general conception like people don't get jobs in January. Data like this can actually support the fact.
Yes, but about time series is you want to look at trends.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. I understand what you're saying, that it's saying that, okay, from that 10 years, we have 38 million. Yeah, it may be good enough, but then your stakeholders will want to know, okay, how has been the last 3 Januaries? Is it improving? So are we improving in terms of unemployment getting less in January, or is it high? This data will not give us that, as you can see. And once I change this, it's good question, but now once I change this, now I can look at January 2005, 1.7 million, and I can go to 2016, 1.2 million. You can see that unemployment has fallen from that January 2005. And even if you want to look at January 2007, about the same. So this is why I mean, like, we need to look at it in a more granular form. When you look at, when you're building a dashboard, make sure that even if you are not going to the lowest granular form, make sure that you have gone at least 1 or 2 steps to be able to show more insight, because that's what they actually want to see. A very more, because they will start asking a lot of questions. Then what happened in last year? What happened? Even some people want to do 7 days average in the time series. So they want to know, okay, what happened, or 30 days moving average, for example. So like when I was doing my master's, then there was like 7 days moving average or 30 days. They want to see, is it improving? Like during the COVID, you will hear 7 days average. Like when they call this today, that doesn't mean like it's all the COVID cases that day. It's just like 7 moving average. So they're going to even to a very, very, very granular form of even days, not even weeks. So just we will be using this more than that one. And as you can see, it's giving you more details, more insights than the aggregate form of one. I mean, we can write calculated formula to calculate each January, and we can see that as well. So moving forward, so what can we do with this graph now? So like now we have age and gender. It's okay to show this, like probably you will see this a lot. It's just showing you of every age of both male and female, the unemployment rates. And you may want to investigate, for example, why this was a financial crisis that started in 2008, that spilled all over to 2010, 11. I remember very well because that's when I graduated. When looking for a job was impossible then, because there was a lot of laying off. So this will also show you, For example, okay, you want to investigate because they will now ask you. So when you are plotting this, also look at this trend and see why, when you see a peak, what happened during this time. So that's when you see that was the peak of the financial crisis, that so many banking needed bailing out, so many investment companies, Lehman Brothers, even they committed suicide, everybody lost their pension, and it started with mortgages. So it was a very bad time. So you may want to know why before they ask you, because some stakeholders will ask, oh, so why? Even if they know, they just want to know, they just want to let you know, they just want to see if you know as well, or if you know why this point was so high. And what was leading, you can see from 2018, it was getting until the peak year before it started falling down as well. So now we want to see it over the male and female. As I said last week, we can just put gender, just put it in color. So this will now give us two types of graphs now. So we have the male here and the female. The male is blue, automatically just gives us that. And then the female, you can see that there were more male unemployed than the female. So you can see just by putting the gender in this, it has given us more insight onto more different granularity. And what if I put, let me see. Let's see, for example, I put gender. So here you can choose any shape you want. You can put circle, for example. You can just choose, Tableau automatically choose for us a line, but if you feel like you want, for example, a circle or a shape, for example, and then we put age groups. Now you can now see we have 0 to 16 to 19. It's like a cycle 22. So your first question before we started this, how do we know what graph to build? This is a very good one. You have your male and female. This is the male, the blue, and the female, the orange here. And we have our age groups. But now, as a stakeholder, I'm just looking, I'm confused now. Like, how do I want to start using my eyes to follow all this plus sign or X sign, or do you get what I'm saying? This is a visualization. This is a trend. You have put in so many data. We've put everything we needed, but this visualization that we've chosen, it's a bit clustered. Even though you may need it in the data science, when you do machine learning or data science, you actually have like a cluster visualization that you use. Those you want to know what cluster of people or whatever you are doing the machine learning, what part of it is clustered or densely clustered together, and you can use it to map. But now we're talking about a visualization. Like, I just want to build a very nice visualization where people can see and understand immediately what we are building. For example, this, do you agree, or do you think I can present this to stakeholders and they will be happy or glad with it? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, doesn't look like a good visualization.
Oh, but okay, this is what I want to present to you today. Are you not going to tell my organa that your Tableau man is not what he presented to us today was not good? I mean, yeah, you are right. I won't be happy as well because there's too many shapes, there's too many um color or yeah, so I wouldn't be happy. But there's a way with just one click that I can change all this for you. And that is just by going here. That's why I said you should play around with this. Like when you play around with it, just let's take an area chart, for example. You play around with it. Let's forget about this now. So we have an area chart now. And this area chart is the same as that line graph that we just did, but it's just giving us an area chart. And the first thing that I will want to look at is like put age and let me just see what it comes up with. You can see that here is becoming okay. Like we know that unlike before that age we're using shapes, this is like a color now and everything. And how do we want to know rather than looking left and right? Okay, 16 to 19 is blue. What is blue? 16 to 19. We can take age again and just put it to label. And you can see that we just have it here. You can see like every line graph for the age groups are there. I mean, because of our map, this is 16 to, we can show. So we're getting there, as we can see that this looks more presenting.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma.
Yes, is there a way we can put more than one of the information on tables under color? Because I tried putting gender and age on that color, but it's not. It's just one that is appearing.
It's only one. There's only so
okay.
you know age. Sorry, I say age. Color is a category. It's categorize what you are doing.
Okay.
So, like this is from last week. So we decide to use the rep as color. But let us say you don't want the rep, for example, you wanted the region as color. It's only one element you can use at the same time.
How about label? Okay, label. Yeah.
Sorry?
I said the label is the same thing, right?
Yeah, you can. Yes. It's only one because then you will be having too many coloration and
I understand.
So instead of that, that's the next question of where next I'm going. So we still want to use gender because we need it. But then how do we use it? Can anybody suggest to me, please? I mean, it's good to interact so that I know that it's good. Thank you for the question. It means that everyone is following. As you said, you wanted to use age for the color. I like that you are experimenting and it won't allow because it's only one. Sorry, gender. So what best way do you think we can use gender? Anyone? It's quite easy. It's right in front of us. We've not talked about it, but trust me, from next week, till we finish this course, we cannot do without it. We will always use it. So this is what we call a filter.
I think, okay, filter.
Yes. Oh, what did you wanted to say? Say it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I want to say I put gender in the detail parts of
Okay, let's try it.
that,
Let's try it.
and it's kind of differentiated for me.
Yeah, but you see that when you put gender, then you have male, but I don't know which one is male, which one
Male.
is female now.
It's on the just as you are hovering with your mouse, you see it. Yeah, men,
Yeah, but you know
women.
that when you are like you want without hovering, you just want your audience to see
Okay.
automatically like this is like now okay, you have two age groups now, but okay. If you override, they can see, but what if you are not hovering over? But it's a good suggestion and thank you. But let us use filter, let us see how we can use, and as I said, from next week, because we'll be building different dashboards on different sheets, we have to use a filter that is going to filter, I mean, that is going to be, we can use one filter for every sheet that we like. So if we have 10 sheets and we have one filter here, it's going to be valid for every other sheet. So that's why I said that we're going to, once we start using filter, we will be using it always. So let us put gender into filter, and we want both all. Let us say that we have like 20 things here, or binary or transgender, and you don't want to use any filter, you can put exclude and then click on which filter you don't want to. But we need these two right now. Click apply and okay. We still don't have how we can go into female or male. So we just say, you click on this and say show filter, and that's it. And you can see that on your right. I always like to put it on the left so that everything, as you can see, if you click on, if you now is what, as you said, now you know that the visualization you are looking at is only for women. And if you click now, what you're looking for is men. So that is the best way to use a filter or to use age in this. And why we've used age is it's better than, I mean, it's better when you use a filter when you have lesser um, categories. I could use filter for age. We can try it and let's see. And we use age and then we use gender for color. This is what I mean, like, let's practice around this. So rather than age and this, don't worry, I will go back to where we are and I remove filter. So we want to put gender here, as you can see, and then we put age. If this is what you want to do as well, it's allowed, it's possible, it's okay. But now you are going to be clicking on so many on many categories to see, rather than clicking on male and female, because we have only two. Do you get my logic?
Yes, yes.
So rather than clicking on so many things that to click on, that's why I prefer to use age as my filter and use gender as my filter and age as my category. So yes, we are back here. And if you don't like this, depending, you can choose whichever one you want. You want it drop down. Yeah, I think this is nice. It's more smaller. And then you can just choose drop down male. Yeah, female. So like that. So any questions till now? So even with this small data, we can play around with it. You can do, and maybe I didn't tell us in the beginning that I believe in a lot of doing. So after our next class, after we finish that topic, there will be a short midterm exam before we do a very advanced joining of data, just to see, it's not to test us, but it's just to make us know that we are actually on the right path. For, I mean, as an individual, like, are you gaining? And for me, if there is anywhere for me to improve on as well. So there will be a midterm. I will bring you a data, and you will build a visualization for me. And yes, I will have a look, and I hope the class is not so big. I like to have one-on-one during the week to say, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what you have done. There will be a short midterm test. It's not going to be hard. It's just everything we have covered. And when we are doing a visualization like this, there is no one right visualization. If you believe that that is what you believe is that visualization, yeah, I just want to know why, and I will say, yeah, okay. So any question till now? All right. So if you are satisfied with this, and now we can name this, what is it? Like, we can name it by clicking here, and we just say unemployment in the US, because this data is from the US. So this is an area chart. So that's what I wanted to get across to us, that we can build an area chart, and we can play around all this, I don't know, like this, what I was trying to say, that these are what data scientists use the most, like density. They want to look at what is the density, where is it more densely populated. So why, I don't know. Circle, obviously you can see that we still the same visualization, but we are just choosing different. Obviously, even your manager will not accept this to present to, and like that. We can go on and on and on. You can see, I don't even know what this is, but yes. So please play around with it. And any question? So once we finish, as I said last week, we can save it to our public Tableau. So file, you can name it unemployment in the US. If you're not already signing, it will ask you to sign up. And that's it. And so we've built another visualization. We built this. last week. We built this. We are going to build much more in the upcoming, because and I can give you, after we finish, I can give you some data set or where to get to build more visualization. This is to show potential employers, because it's actually really important. By the time you put it on your CV, it makes you get attention, and there will be less question because they're saying what you can do. I mean, they may ask how you've done it, but they've seen what you are capable of, which is very good. And actually, that's why I've chose Tableau over Power BI to teach, because I use both. But because Power BI, there's not really what you can show them, of which is basically the same. And one other thing before we go is, after this, it's maybe we want to go a little deeper into Tableau in our own time, and to be certified. Because when I was certified, I was getting even people stop asking for interview. They wanted to just hire me, because there's a certification for Tableau. If you are interested in it later on, you can let me know. I can give you a very good course that will help you on that. And yes, it's not that it needs a lot of preparation, like a month, but it's very good. Once you get that certification, you get hired almost immediately, to be honest, because it's very few people who have that. And yes, any questions so far?
My question is, as regards the certification, I know you are the Tableau person. You have another person who is the Microsoft BI
Yes.
person. But which one do you think is? I know you would choose Tableau, but do you
No.
like?
I have both, to be honest, the Power BI as well. But even if they're looking for Tableau and you have Power BI, they will still hire you immediately, to be honest. So it doesn't matter which one you go for. But I just think that Tableau was much easier, because the Power BI, there are stages, but Tableau, there's 2 stages. But even I have the maybe entry level, which is still very good. So nobody's asking me if I know Tableau, or how do I do Tableau, because the person asking me can't even pass it or hasn't the certification. But it's still all good. Anyone is very good. Only that DAX formula gave me some headaches, to be honest. So that's why I went for Tableau.
Yes, please, I have a question. In this,
Yes.
your gender filter,
Yes.
by the left-hand side of the screen, how did you make it into a drop-down instead of showing the full details, like male, female?
You see, look at this place, this
Okay.
gender, just click on it. You have so many options. So let us say that from next week, when we will do yes as a filter, I will be using slide. So what do I mean by slide? Like if I just want one single at a time, I can use slide. So men, women. So this is where you choose. But if you want multiple option at the same time, you can say multiple value at the same time, drop down. So you just choose it from here. So this is where I chose it from. Don't worry, when we play along with it, when you are playing with it as well, you will be doing that a lot. And next week as well, we'll be doing more calculation, a bit more calculation as well, creating bins and just getting. So please, if we can practice before next week, because we are going more advanced. Actually, we're diving into the more advanced, because we'll be doing not only one, not two, about 4 or 5 sheets of visualization. And then we are going to be building a dashboard with it. So, any question?